What's going on? It's the RapNerd, and an official trailer for Superman has finally dropped. We've gotten 2 teasers alongside a clip from the movie with Superman recovering, but we still don't have a story or anything, so I'm hoping that this gives some dialogue and more shape around what's gonna happen. We're not gonna know until we watch it, so let's jump into this thing.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah,
You'd let me interview you as Superman.
sure.
So she tells him?
Ready?
Let's do it, Cronkite.
Superman.
Miss Lane.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire for what
know,
some
it's a
might.
lot of
It's
fire,
a lot. Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions.
Frankie.
That's funny.
My actions? I stopped a war.
Maybe.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one being interviewed, Superman. Did you consult with the president?
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of
I
the
wasn't
United States will
representing
cause
anybody
more
except for me.
problems around the world.
And
More.
doing good.
I would question myself in the same situation and consider the consequences.
People were going to die.
I'm loving this.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Wow.
Your choices, your actions. That's what makes you who you are.
Superman. He's not a man. He's an it.
Damn.
He's somehow become the focal point of the entire world's conversation. I will not accept that.
I cleaned your boots. I'll go get them for you.
Oh man.
You have a dog?
I am loving what I'm seeing here. I'm loving the tone. I've said this for all of the footage that I've seen. It's a well-balanced tone for Superman. It's not just the bumbling fool of Clark trying to fool people or being just overly Boy Scoutish and, leaning into the campiness of Superman. I love, like I said, the weight of what's going on. Him having an interview, speaking to Lois, just says so much. How some of the, a lot of the things that I loved about what Zack Snyder did with his Superman, with Man of Steel, BVS, Justice League, how it's not this love letter to the man in the sky. I think Superman has always been both sides of that in the comics, where you have these people who actually agree with Lex, who see what he's saying, like, this dude is a superhero, but he can do anything that he wants to do. And at the same time, you have people rooting. I think that is very important to make that part prominent. I'm not saying that it's never been prominent in any other movies outside of the movies I just named, like, the Snyder films and this one. There's some of that in Returns as well. Even in Christopher Reeves, but I still feel like a lot of it doesn't delve deep into, like, what do people actually think about Superman doing all this stuff? And I think that this movie is going to jump into that, and I love that about it. I love the inclusion of so many characters. Like, it almost feels like a Justice League movie surrounding Superman at the center of it. I love that this is not an origin story. It seems that Lois already knows that he's Superman. Or I don't know if they're doing like a mock-up, I don't know, but it seems like she knows because he's defending himself here. And I just really love that, him stating his piece, with, yeah, I'm not here to do what the government asked me to do. I'm not representing anyone. I'm not representing America. I'm representing what I think is right. So yeah, there are going to be some people who don't like that, but I felt like this was right, and I stand on that. And I really love that his choices to step in are going to be questioned. That's what I'm getting here. It's going to be a whole lot of like, should I be doing this? Because people are seeing it one way. I mean, it looks like he even got arrested at one point. So I'm just like, I love the tonality. I love the action. I love the characters that he's going up against. I don't know who's who really, but I'm down to see, because I know Gunn is a comic book nerd like a lot of us are, and it's gonna be the inclusion of a lot, and that makes me very excited to see how lived in this world of DC looks. Like, I'm really looking forward to that part, because the ship is already built. We know who it is. We know who it is. We know what we're supposed to be seeing, and I just love that. I love the music in the background. I love Nick Holt's portrayal of Lex thus far that I'm seeing. He's playing like the more classic Lex that looks very menacing, and that he really is gunning for Superman in the way that he's, we're used to seeing him doing the comic books in an animated series. Love that. The action looks great as well. Seeing Superman go up against a kaiju was something that I never thought that I would see on the big screen like this, but I'm loving we get that, as well as him going up against other possible super-powered villains. I believe that's the Authority, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know who the dude in the big suit that looks like Batman's mech suit is, who's shooting lasers. Don't know who that is, but that's just cool to see Superman have to face all of these different things in one movie. Loving this, man. July 11th, I am there. Seated. Gunn has sold me on what he's going to do to Superman. The humor looks balanced, again, with the seriousness, which was one thing I was kind of afraid of, because I'm like, Superman's not really a comedy, so I hope he doesn't play it that way. It doesn't feel like that at all. It almost feels a lot like a combination of Man of Steel and Superman Returns. I know people hate Superman Returns, but I actually don't mind it, because I feel like from a classic standpoint, that movie does that. And take that with some of the hard choices that Snyder's Superman did. You put them together, and I feel like this is what we're getting right here. And I think that this is an excellent way to kick off the DC universe. If we can knock this out the park, especially with the box office hits, DC is right on Marvel's heels, and that's how it should be. And this is not a discredit DCEU. Anybody who knows me knows I love the DCEU. In fact, Zack Snyder's 3 movies are my favorite comic book movies, period. Like, in order, those are my top 3. So this is no slight to anything. But while I love what Zack did, I'm looking forward to see what Gunn does. You know what I mean? I think that that's okay to say. I don't think they're gonna personally outdo his movies for me, because I love those movies and they mean a lot to me. But this looks great and could join that group of favorite CBMs. I really love what I'm seeing here. So let me know in the comments what you thought about the trailer. What was your favorite part? Mine has to be just the whole interview back and forth between him and Lois, and us seeing that montage of he's questioning him about. Love that little detail. And of course, let this kind of content, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, thank you. Until next time, peace.
RapNerd Productions, no capping, that's word to mommy. Instead of banking on it, now rapping is just a hobby.